Many people think that the ability to interview is an inherent talent, but that's simply not the case. Just being personable or liking to talk is no guarantee that someone will be an effective interviewer. In fact, there are many factors related to interviewers that can influence how well interviewees perform, including the ability to prompt good social interaction, personality, and the design and structure of the interview itself. Even the questions that are asked of individuals can arguably affect the quality of interview sessions. Interviewing skills are developed through training and practice. Suggestions for making interviewing more effective are as follows. Plan the interview. Interviewers should review all information before the interview and then identify specific areas for questioning. Control the interview. This includes knowing the audience and what information must be collected, systematically collecting it during the interview, and stopping when the information has been collected. Use effective questioning techniques. Use questions that will produce full and complete answers and can be evaluated on the basis of job relatedness. And finally, get a balanced view. To enable informed hiring decisions, interviewers should consider both the positive and negative attributes of job candidates. The following types of questions should be avoided in selection interviews. They include yes-no questions. Unless verifying specific information, the interview should always avoid questions that can be answered with a yes or no. Avoid obvious questions. An obvious question is one for which the interviewer already has the answer or the applicant knows it. And finally, questions that rarely produce a true answer. Avoid questions that prompt a less than honest response. For example, how did you get along with your coworkers? Other questions to avoid include leading questions, which is one in which the answer is obvious. Illegal or inappropriate questions involve information about protected characteristics. And finally, questions that are not job-related. All questions should be directly related to the job. Effective interviewers avoid listening responses such as nodding, pausing, making casual remarks, echoing, and mirroring. The applicant might try to please the interviewers by observing the feedback provided. However, giving no response to an applicant's answers may imply boredom and inattention. Therefore, interviewers should use friendly but neutral comments and gestures during the interview. Managers and supervisors are more likely than HR professionals to use poor interviewing techniques because they lack training or do not interview often. Let's take a look at the problems that are common to interviews. Some interviewers decide whether an applicant is suitable within the first 2 to 4 minutes of the interview and spend the rest of the time looking for evidence to support their judgment. When evaluating suitability, unfavorable information about the applicant is often emphasized more than favorable information. The halo effect occurs when an interviewer allows a positive characteristic, such as agreeableness, to overshadow other evidence. The phrase's devil's horn describes the reverse of the halo effect, which occurs when a negative characteristic, such as inappropriate dress, overshadows all other traits. Similarity bias occurs when interviewers favor or select people whom they believe to be like themselves on the basis of a variety of personal factors. Interviewers should also avoid any personal techniques to stereotype individuals because of demographic characteristics and difference. Managers and others involved in the selection process frequently fall victim to their own unconscious bias. Without realizing it, many interviewers discount candidates whose religions or cultures differ from their own. Helping people recognize and manage their biases is important for fair assessment of all candidates in the selection process.